Nobody should be left alone here. In the small town of Frome in Somerset in the southwest of England, community is a priority. Anyone who is lonely or unwell can get help from volunteers, like James Lewis and Amy Wood. They founded the organisation Dogs for Health.
Morning, Dan. Look at the colour of your hands.
In the park, they meet up with Danny Perry.
Yes.
Together with their spaniels, Molly and Clover, they help people with mental health problems.
There's a huge sense of satisfaction in doing it. There is so much social isolation in this country that we don't tackle, and when we try and tackle it just using just one-to-one conversation, quite often there's a struggle. Doing it the way we do it with the dogs, it means that the person feels more comfortable. They don't have to talk to me, they can talk to my dog. James
Lewis used to be in the military. Now he works as a truck driver. He's been looking after Danny Perry for 2 years. Perry was also a soldier. After his discharge from military service, he fell into a deep hole and had to be admitted to a psychiatric hospital because of post-traumatic stress disorder. The walks help him a lot. He hopes to soon be able to do without medication altogether.
Being out and about, being in the fresh air, being able to talk to James, it's like I've known him for years. It's fantastic, and the dogs, at the end of the walk, they all want to cuddle as well, which is it's an amazing feeling.
Dogs for Health is not the only initiative in Frome that provides personal support. Because many men find it difficult to talk about their feelings, there is also the so-called men's shed. In the wood workshop, they can do woodwork side by side, or just come by for a chat, like John Caulfield. After his retirement, the former engineer suffered from depression.
It's relaxed, it's where you can share things if you want to and get some quite constructive and helpful feedback and response from people who are perhaps in a similar situation. Because as you know, for men, we find it difficult to talk more about ourselves personally, but if you're amongst a group of men, it seems to be a little bit easier.
The men's shed in Frome is now more than 10 years old, and it's no longer just a men's shed. Anyone can take part for a donation. Those who have no money pay less or nothing at all. Everyone who runs courses is a volunteer.
A lot of people here find companionship, and I do for a start, because I'm relatively new to Frome, and I've made good friends here. There's a lot, and my husband too, because he comes to the men's shed and helps with the women's shed when they're doing woodwork or something like that.
Patrick Abrahams founded the men's shed in Frome. There are now around 1,000 initiatives like this in the United Kingdom, and the number is growing.
There's a desperate need, and some of the areas that we don't work well enough with is younger people and ethnic minorities. In Frome there is a young person shed that meets on a Wednesday evening, but increasingly young people are suffering from the same things that everyone else is in terms of mental health, in terms of anxiety and depression.
More and more Britons are seeking help for mental health problems, and young people in particular often have to wait months for an appointment. The Frome Medical Centre coordinates everything with a focus on prevention. GP Helen Kingston says that many problems arise because patients are lonely. She's well connected with social care services as well as with voluntary organisations such as the Men's Shed. Since the new initiative was founded, hospital emergency admissions fell by around 14%.
And what are they doing to advertise that? Sometimes if you can recognise when people are struggling and put in some simple measures, that can turn that situation around from becoming a crisis to being something that people are managing day to day.
In Danny Perry's case, his hospital team had put him in touch with Patrick and Dogs for Health, with success.
Somebody convinced me to have one.
I have now got to the stage where I feel confident that I'm in a much better place, and I've spoken to James at length about helping the charity out. I'd like to put back now what I have gained out of it and put back to anybody else that needs it as well.
And people need help everywhere. Patrick is looking to start a Dogs for Health initiatives in the Philippines, and Danny wants to help him.